Howdy folks, and welcome to today's bonus video. It's World of Warships, and it's the first of the new German destroyers, which I managed to get my hands on very recently for testing purposes. This is the German Tier 2, the V-25. Now, at this early stage of proceedings, because this is a preview only, I am not allowed to show you any of the numbers, any of the stats of the ship, any gameplay with the UI. So all I can comment on, for now at least, is what you can see just from watching these glamour shots, if you like, of the ship, without any of the UI on display. Essentially, it's pretty much one step up from looking at screenshots of the ship, although there are certain things that we have been able to ascertain purely from looking at the screenshots. For example, we can see that the ship has 3 guns, and they're all centerline mounted guns, which means that it can pretty much get all 3 of the guns firing at the same time from most firing angles, unlike, for example, the British premium Tier 3 destroyer, HMS Campbelltown, which also has 3 guns, but because of the poor placement of the guns on the Campbelltown, most of the time you're lucky if you can get 2 of those guns firing at a target, and a lot of the time you can only use 1 of them effectively. Also, we can see that it has 4 torpedo launchers, 2 centerline mounted with 2 tubes each, and at the front of the ship, another 2 torpedo launchers. Yes, this ship can fire torpedoes to the front, which means there's none of that swinging the ship around to the side and giving whoever's shooting at you the biggest possible target to shoot at in the V-25. It can fire torpedoes while charging straight at you. There are, of course, certain things that you just can't tell from looking at screenshots, like how fast is it, and while I can't give you specific numbers, well, just look at it go. I'm actually slowing down here to cap. And at this stage of the game, I had been running with the speed flag, you can see it there flying from the mainmast, and I also had the engine boost activated. And I cannot tell you, because I'm not allowed to yet, exactly how fast this ship is, but trust me, it's quick. Another thing that screenshots aren't going to show you are the firing arcs of those forward torpedo tubes, but we can see them here. They don't fire directly ahead because the bow of the ship is in the way, but they fire as close to directly ahead as you can get. And you can see here that the firing arc to the sides is also pretty good. So what's this little thing like in action? Well, again, while I cannot give you specific numbers, we're going to close in on an enemy cruiser and demonstrate what this thing's like in action. I'm closing in for a torpedo and gun attack on a German Tier 3 cruiser. This is the Kolberg. Now, you can see that the torpedoes are not particularly fast. Now, I can't tell you what the range of the torpedoes is, but you can tell from watching how I conduct this torpedo attack on the cruiser that I like to get close, within 4 or 3 kilometers, before I fire these torpedoes off. And I'm doing that not because the torpedoes only have a 3 or 4 kilometer range, but because, as you can quite clearly see there, they're not particularly fast. So in order to ensure that the maximum number of torpedoes do actually hit the target, I get in close and I fire them from point blank range. And you can see the maneuverability of this little ship as well. It's quite capable of avoiding fire even from a Tier 3 cruiser at short range and coming out of it the winner. Now, of course, that poor old Kolberg didn't really have a lot of options during that attack. I can't tell you exactly how close I was able to get to it before he spotted me and started shooting at me, because, once again, that would be giving away specific numbers. But what I could do is go back and show you the exact point at which he started shooting at me, and that will allow you to be able to make an educated guess at the kind of surface detection range that this tiny little ship has. So here I am making my approach, and I've turned to get my guns pointing at him, and I'm going to be the one to fire the first shots at exactly the point at which I stray inside his detection range. So while I'm not able to tell you what the exact surface detection range of the V-25 is, and I only have a 3-point captain on this thing, so no concealment skill, you can take a look at that, make an educated guess, and figure out that it is actually quite good. The Kolberg never really stood a chance, though. I was able to approach undetected, get the first shots off, and torpedo him while he couldn't turn to starboard for fear of running into that island. Also, as Tier 3 cruisers go, and no disrespect to Germany, but the Kolberg just isn't very good. Don't worry though, we will be taking on a much more formidable opponent right at the end of this video. For now, however, I've managed to get myself into an absolute dream position, smoked up, at short range, with a whole bunch of enemy battleships to shoot at. Working them over with the guns, setting them on fire, launching the torpedoes, and basically just having every destroyer captain's wet dream. There goes the Koenig. Only the 1 torpedo hit, but Well, as you can see by the damage to the ship, he's been burning quite nicely. Managed to get the bow torpedoes away, and my smoke screen is about to dissipate. I'm actually sailing backwards here at quite some speed, as you can quite clearly see. And yep, smoke screen's gone. He's seen me. I'm starting to take hits. And that over there, engaging a friendly, I think it was a Weymouth, that's a St. Louis. Now, the St. Louis is an altogether different proposition to the Kolberg. I'm sure you'll agree. It's tough, it's not particularly fast, it's reasonably manoeuvrable, and it's basically made out of guns. Before I can engage the St. Louis, however, I'm just going to finish off the Koenig. It was on very low health and flooding from the torpedo hits. And now the St. Louis has taken out the Weymouth, and it's basically me and him. His first broadside salvo, I managed to dodge. His second broadside salvo, I managed to dodge. Get the bow torpedoes away. I take a hit. I'm closing in. He knows what's coming. He's doing exactly the right thing. He's turning the bow of the ship towards me. I am now at a range of something like 500 meters. And now I just can't miss. And so I only use one of the two twin torpedo launchers and take out the St. Louis at point blank range. I think I'm in love with this ship. It is so much fun. I haven't had as much fun as this playing World of Warships since the closed beta test. In fact, I think I found my end game ship right now, and it's tier 2. I could play this ship all day. It is that good. It's not without its limitations, however, but I can't really reveal those without talking about numbers. Let's just say it doesn't have a lot of health, and we'll leave it at that. It's very, very easy to kill. Well, it's easy to kill if you can hit it. But it's fast, and it's maneuverable, and it's tiny, and it certainly seems to be quite sneaky. And I just love it. And I'm sure destroyer aficionados out there, you're going to love this thing too. I can't wait until I can actually show you the full details of this ship, but for now it's preview only, no UI, no numbers. Just have a look at the gameplay and draw your own conclusions. And that's it for today's bonus video on the upcoming Tier 2 German V-25 destroyer in World of Warships. Take care folks, and I'll catch you next time.